What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have an exciting unboxing to dig into for you and an awesome story. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel here. I'd love to have you hit that thumbs up before you head out. It really helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you have for your EDC. So this is a knife from Shieldin, and this is something that I decided to pick up in my travels through Amazon. I can't remember if I picked it up when Amazon was having a big sale or not, or their big sale, I guess I should say. But I have seen this knife in the past, and I always thought it looked really interesting. Got a nice little pouch here with a belt loop attachment there, and inside that we will have our knife here. And there's an interesting story behind this. This is called the Sith here, and this looks really, really cool and still maintains, or at least I think it will, maintains a lot of utility. So I don't have much experience with Shieldin, but I'm in a group on Instagram with a bunch of fellow knife YouTubers, and I bought this and I said in the chat, hey, has anyone checked this knife out? Because I just picked one up and I thought it looked really cool, really interesting, and still going to maintain that utility factor. And lo and behold, Tier 1 EDC Gear and Reviews, this is actually his design, and I had no idea. I'm not in a lot of pass around stuff, so certain stuff I just don't know about. And sure enough, this is his design, and we got to talking, and he's got a lot of stuff in the works. A lot of stuff that looks really different and really good all at the same time, and I'm stoked to check some of that stuff out. I actually have a new version of this on the way here right now, I believe, so we should have that very soon. Now, I did pick this knife up, I believe, for around $50, and I just thought that was an awesome deal. We're looking at 154 cm, got this crazy Sith style blade here. Probably won't be the easiest thing to sharpen, although with some sort of ceramic rod or something, it probably wouldn't be too bad. Got a nice stonewash finish to it, and I understand this won't be for everyone, but I thought it was really cool and something really different. But like I said at the beginning, I still think this is going to maintain a lot of utility for them piercy draw cuts, those precision type cuts, and we'll see here in a moment, but the way this is angled should hold you in your cut for a long period of time, which some people really enjoy, and I know I will enjoy that pinpoint precision that tip's going to offer. We can see the 154 cm marking there. We got the Shieldin logo there, and right there, that should be Tier 1's maker's mark right there. And then you can see the Sith there on the clip side. Liner lock, and looks locked up very well, like 40%. And we do have a nice chamfer there on the show side to get to that liner, and then a nice chamfer on that liner. Very easy to disengage that. Got a snappy detent as well. I like that. And then we're looking at a wire deep carry clip there, and it is going to be reversible for left-handers out there. And then this is, it says micarta and G10, so I don't know if this is some sort of smooth micarta with a G10 backspacer. I guess I should have asked him, because it says right here on the box too, micarta, and G10. So I don't know how that all works, if it's a G10 backspacer with a micarta handle, but it looks good and it feels good. It's smooth, but it's got a nice amount of grip to it. And I was going to say, with the amount of blade that kind of sticks out there, you're going to be able to reverse flick this thing all day long. It's got this nice flat area up here that you can really get under. It's going to be easy. And this is not a big knife by any stretch of the imagination. We're looking at, from tip to scale, 2.5 inches. And then we're looking at about 6 inches strong. You could say 6 1/16 there. Let's go ahead and look at this thing in the pocket. It should carry nice and deep. We'll get our issuing stitches Hank out here. And that's one thing wire pocket clips are. They're ergonomic typically, and they work very well. The functionality of a wire pocket clip is hard to beat. It's going to carry extremely deep in the pocket. You won't see much of this knife poking out at all. Less than an eighth, probably about a 1/16 of an inch, and very good retention. But this really drew my eye. No, it's not the prototypical knife, you know, it's not your prototypical folder, but that's what I love about this. I like different things. I like unique knives, and there's something to be said for something like this that is this far away from a typical folder, but still going to maintain itself to be very useful. You have a nice row of jimping here, and between the flipper and that jimping, you're going to be locked into this thing very well. And I'm guessing, yeah, in a reverse grip, that is comfortable as all hell. So if you find yourself in a ninja fight, this might come in very, very handy. It's got a fairly thin blade stock, and then it thins out as it goes to that tip. You're definitely not going to want to take this out and try to baton it through a log. And while I was looking at this, I said to myself, you know, for 154 G10 micarta, if it's a solid build, around $50 for this thing is an absolute killer deal. Just because of how different it is, I really like it. And I believe the one that's coming to me now is an XL version of this. So I'm really looking forward to that. I can squeeze 4 on this handle. It's probably more of a 3.5 finger handle for me personally. I have XL size gloves, and this isn't a good demonstration for this knife, but it does have a really nice edge. But this isn't going to be meant to, you know, cut razor thin telephone book paper, although it definitely can. But one thing this is going to be great for is them precision detailed type cuts. Very pinpoint accurate with that tip. I really like that. And for the people who, you know, there's a little part of me that, and I don't think it'll ever leave, growing up in the tactical phase of the knife world. That's where I grew up in. That was the thing. As you know, from the 90s into the early 2000s. I don't know much about before the 90s, like in the 80s. I don't think quite then. But as the 90s hit and into the early 2000s, tactical knives were it. That was what everybody looked for. That was what everybody wanted, especially in my age range. And there's a little piece of me that I think will always enjoy something like this, something that's definitely more tactical based. This kind of reminds me of a dinosaur claw or something. You know what I mean? Like, but this is definitely really cool. And I told Tier 1 that I love it because it's so different than, there's not, you know, there might be other things that are kind of close to this, but this is not your average folder right here. And I gotta say, like I said, I don't have much experience with shielding, but it seems like this one is really well made, really well built. I want to say, I don't know if I've ever handled anything from shielding. And this is really snappy. You can push button this thing. You can light switch it. Can we thumb flick it out? Maybe. No. Definitely going to be able to reverse flick this thing out all day. I guess if you got used to it, you could probably figure out. You could figure it out. I would say, though, definitely that rear flipper tab and then a reverse flick all day. I don't find that to be any trouble to reverse flick this thing out. And this is going to be extremely easy to wield. I would definitely say, though, this is going to be up the people who like tactical knives and want their tactical knife to have some functionality as well, to make certain cuts and do certain things, like, you know, on the utility side, but still give you all the tactical ability that you could, you know, have. This is going to make a great pierce and slice type of knife. Really, really cool. The tip you'll have to be careful with because it is, you know, thin. It's meant to poke and slice, not to poke and pry. That should be a given, but, you know, we do have to mention that for the new people or people who just don't have that many brains left in their head. Speaking of not having much brains left, let's go ahead and we'll check this lock here. Like I said, it's at 40% and there's no movement in there. This thing is locked up tighter than a frog's ass. That is beautiful. There's no detent lash. It's got a nice detent. Nice and clicky. There's no pivot lash. Soft open. Still going over to that 40%. Let's check this thing. Nice. Love that action. Love that flipper tab. Just works so good for that downward push button almost. It's that combination of a light switch and push button. It just works really damn good and it's snappy as hell. Love it. Really good. Really good. I would say that might even be venturing into 50%, which is fantastic. That still leaves a lot of room for it to move over if need be. And that is going to give you very, very solid lockup. Yeah, this thing is awesome. You know, whether... And that's right there in itself. I have a video coming on that as well. But that's enough of a reason to buy something. Because it's awesome. Because it's cool. Does every single knife, you know, if that's the way you are, that's cool. You know, if every single knife that you buy has to serve like a utilitarian factor, I get it. But sometimes just getting stuff, whether it's a knife or a pen or a lighter or whatever it is, a pair of shoes, just because it's cool, because it's awesome. And if you're in the collection, if you're a knife enthusiast, there's nothing wrong with picking up a knife that you think is awesome, even if it veers way away from what everyone thinks should be, right? You'll have to let me know. What do you think of the Sith here? And is this something you could see yourself carrying, buying? I'll link it down below on Amazon, and if I can find it elsewhere, I'll link it down there as well. But keep your eyes peeled for the upgraded version that I have coming in very soon. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, everyone. It really helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. If you're new here, I release videos just like this one every single day. Hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.